Yes, if you did the whole episode in that voice, I would move on pretty quick.
Holy shit, get a decent microphone. This is literally unlistenable.
There is a weird buzzing noise in the background. Also fade in for audio was weird.
Sexism? Oh boy, I sure hope that was a joke. A bad one.
CE? Learn Polish, LMAO. That'll look easy in comparison. Oops, 3 seconds later, you remember Polish, never mind.
Esperanto has a very stupid phonology.
DR full stop space L full stop space L full stop space Z space A space N space E space N space H space O space F.
The "it" is inconsistent is because Esperanto has diverged from the Esperanto that Dr. Laser spoke. It is basically a natural language with constructed origins now.
You complain about Esperanto being too European-centric, but isn't that what it's meant to be? It's international, not universal. Also, verino isn't sexist. You're taking man and adding onto it, so can't that be interpreted as being more than a man? Why does everything have to be about sexism? Can't this just be about cum-wrangling?
I'm done with all your virtue signaling bullshit.
Whoops, didn't realize you were one of those gender studies majors. Never mind, carry on with your hallucination.
Here's a neat way to commit suicide. Kill off all your brain cells by taking a shot every time a buzzword is used in an argument about feminism.
I have never, ever met an Esperanto speaker from a European language background that complained about this ever. Like, did you talk to actual Esperanto speakers when you were making this, or were you just guessing what problems someone would have when learning this language?
Esperanto beats large band.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the point that people brains do not naturally think of letters in terms of linguistics. There, I said it. Complaining that the letters don't look like how they should be pronounced is so pointless. Does the letter S look like it should make an S sound? No. Well, if most of the alphabet is going to be inconsistent, then why change that? This is another point that falls dead in practice. I certainly didn't even think of it as a criticism until I heard it just now.
You are not getting how Zamenhof was thinking. Zed wasn't thinking at all about defining women in terms of men. He was thinking about making the lexicon as simple as possible. That was his goal, regardless of how poor a job he did. Although he ultimately should have, Zed did not create a masculine suffix for the same reason he did not create a non-antonym version of the prefix small. You don't need to create a non-antonym prefix because the absence of the antonym marker is enough to signal that it's a non-antonym. Likewise, the absence of the feminine marker, Zamenhof reasoned, was enough to signal the masculine. Think of the masculine marker as a zero morpheme, and you would be a lot closer to the truth than positing subliminal sexism or whatever. The reason that Zed chose the masculine suffix to be zero is that is how the languages that he knew about tended to work. Even in English, which by default does not mark gender on nouns, feminine suffixes occur often enough, whereas masculine suffixes are rare. Widower is the only example that comes to my mind. None of this business can be counted as sexism per se. It's just a legacy of how IE languages tend to work.
It's the one show that managed to degrade in overall quality after becoming somewhat established.
Nossa linosa.
Wait, diphthongs have to be learnt to be pronounced, and clusters have to be learned. My native tongue has no sk, but it has a sh and ts, and I can perfectly pronounce shk.
Hey, thanks for making the video and mentioning me in the introduction, even if you did misspell my name. Unfortunately, there's a lot of errors and mistakes in your video. Here's my thoughts.
The introduction made my ears bleed. Never do that again.
Why do you call Zamenhof L Laser Z? The sound quality isn't that great. There was a buzzing sound, and sometimes you spoke very quickly and mashed words together. You complain that Esperanto doesn't have certain sounds from some languages, and vice versa. Yeah, because Esperanto is a combination of languages, it's not similar to just one. You can use the word order instead of the accusative. But what word order? Does a neutral word order exist? Are plurals for adjectives really that much of a problem, or is it just because English doesn't have them? French has them, so if Zamenhof ignored that, then French people would probably complain. Suno doesn't sound like sun. What? Yes it does. Even when you pronounce them, they sounded the same. Did you not notice? Esperanto ignores international words like hospital. Actually, hospitalo is an Esperanto word. The word for woman comes from man. Female comes from male. This is true of English, Esperanto, and lots of other languages. Esperanto is sexist. No. Just no. You must learn a completely new name of where you live. Wrong. The vast majority of the time, the name is the same. I'm from Irlando, Ireland, but I live in Francio, France. You cherry-picked the few exceptions. For country suffixes, it's almost always io. It's not the clearest of some, but you wildly exaggerate the problems. Stano is not a suffix, that's incorrect.
Spends whole video bashing every aspect of the language extensively, puts it on the second best spot.
You are partially right and also partially wrong about several different areas. You dispense information of varying accuracy at varying times. You say words which have meaning which may or may not be found in objective fact. The phones you produce are interpreted as concepts which have some degree of veracity, the exact intensity of which is up for debate.
Bad video, lol, terrible mic quality, should have done my oligosynthetic rum gel language syllabic writing and 45 phonemes, some of them pronounced as in and